Hello, friends. How has everyone's weekend been going? Quinn, thank you for the 14 months. Appreciate you, homie. So much taller than I thought you were. Do you think I was lying when I said I was 6'4"? Like, did you think it was a joke? Potato, thank you for the 12 months, homie. Appreciate you. Event, thank you for the 11 months. What up, friends? Super, how are you? Hi, Roxy. You dropped something. Well, stop it. Phoenix, hello. How is everyone doing? Don't let him lie. He's shorter than me. Amber, well, listen, we all can't be as tall as you. Amber's like 7'5". oh, is this what you dropped? Oh, Roxy, hold on. I'll get it. I'll pick it up. Hold on. Roxy. No, I have not. Gosh darn it. Oh my God. When is the stream starting? When the go live button happens. Yeah. Hi guys. I know I wasn't supposed to be. Listen, hi Royal. I wasn't supposed to be live today, but the fam. So I got home a little bit early, and then the fam is supposed to be home in a couple of hours. So I figured we'd go live until fam was going to be coming home, and then they're kind of going to dictate our night or our day as to how long I'll be here. So when they get home, it'll be a see you later. Hi, Ryan. But yeah. Hello. So yeah, I got home just a little bit ago. Not very long ago. But yes, I got to meet some of our stream friends over the past couple of days, which was freaking awesome. Got to meet Ryan. So I got to meet Purple Hacks. I got to actually meet Amber in person. I met Chinggis and Dahlia before, but we actually got to go to their house this time. So that was awesome. 'Twas a fun. Got to meet Moon Bunny in person. Yeah, they were not just a VTuber. How's the Dorito shot? It wasn't good. It definitely was not great. What's for lunch? Orange Celsius. Hi Tash. Hi Bibbers. I got to meet Bibbity. I got to meet so many amazing people. Yeah, the Dorito shot was not very good. I don't know if it was as bad as Chinggis made it out to be. Don't get me wrong. Some of like the drinks, like the shit that's in the fridge is awful. Some of that is way worse than that Dorito shot. Way worse. What did I say? What did I say when you were there? I said it tasted like a couch Dorito. Like if you were to leave it in the couch for like a year or something like that, and you're like, oh, what's this? And then you ate it. That's probably what it'd be like. Hey, DJ. Hey, Jocelyn. I can only imagine that's probably what it'd be like, right? It's not from experience. So he's out. No, I think he's got like, if you had a bottle that's like this, I think he had like this much left. Yeah. He gave some out. He didn't give like a ton, but he definitely gave a decent portion to everybody. Yeah, it wasn't great. Hi, Molo. Yeah. But yeah, so it was awesome. I got to meet Evie. I got to meet Baron. I got to meet so many amazing people. Yeah, it was awesome. They were all doing like a million Jello shots, and there's no shot that. Got to meet Peggy. Peggy's husband. Yeah, it was awesome. It was so good. Yeah. So hopefully at some point we'll get to have another get together where we get to meet more people. Just trying to get rid of it. I know he was. I know. Am I family friendly? I mean, I'm very nice to my family. Yeah. I'm very nice to them. A million Jello shots. Yeah. So many. And you all did so. I mean, you all are troopers. I don't know how the hell y'all do it. I don't know how you guys do it. All right, let's open up Faz. So yeah, we're gonna chill. I mean, per the usual Sunday, we're gonna chill with Faz, play some nightmare games, who knows what, and then I'm gonna keep my eye on my phone for when the fam's gonna get home, and then I'm gonna chill with them for the rest of the night when they get home. She's been hanging with them for the past couple days at her dad's house. Love the pic of us all. It was great. Yeah, getting to meet Chesney IRL was hilarious just because she's over a foot shorter than me. So, yeah, that was funny. Her and Aldi are exactly as they are in person as they are online. It's identical. She's so tiny. I know. The IRL Aldi jump scare, I'm so sad. I was talking this like the opposite direction. I think I was talking to Baron about something. And then all of a sudden, I hear the Chesney scream behind me. And I realized it was Aldi doing the Aldi thing. God damn it. Son of a bitch. But anyway, all right, let's open Faz. Jinx and Dahlia still have so many left. Oh, they still have so many, like, Jello. Oh, my God, no shot. That was absolutely great. And then we ordered Little Caesars at like 11 o'clock at night. So that was great. That was an Evie idea. That was an Evie plan. Sinister. Thank you for the 6 months. Hello, homie. It was a fantastic idea, especially for everyone that was drinking. I drank very minimal. Very minimal. Muffins, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. How was it? How was what? My fall from heaven. Iris, thank you for the 7 months. My freaking dude, I wanted to be able to show you guys the merch on stream today, but my wife has the mailbox key, so.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
Sorry. So she might walk in here at some point if I'm still live when she gets home. I don't know. All those Royal. Oh man. Thank you for the gigantic emote. Tomorrow night we can see it. This is very true. This is very true. Okay. Less a scooch. Less a scooch. All right. It's been a couple days.
Looks
Shouldn't
like
be too bad.
help.
Shouldn't be too bad. All right. Where are we starting the day? While we are deciding, I can get moving. Kitten Kills. Hello, friend. How are you? Hey, how are you? Oh, I didn't update this, but we're going to see if it still works. It should. Point Hope, Camp, Willers, Tangle, Edge. Ooh. So many choices. 14. Start with Point Hope? I could. We have done it less. I think we've done it less more recently so that we don't play it out. So I could. Number vote. We could do that here in a little bit. Do you have new merch? Ghost, I'm working on it. Like as in I do, but I'm waiting for it to physically get to me first so that I can approve of it. Because I want to make sure that I approve of it first and then I will release it. Yeah. Yeah. Philip, what's up, Air? Quit. Arthur, how are you guys? Welcome in. What's up, Random? Yep. A nice, short, chill Sunday stream. Yeah. Insanity? No, I hate insanity. You don't get a cursed possession. It sucks. No, I appreciate you, Ghost. No, I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, I showed the design once. So we'll show it again. I'll either show it today or I'll show it tomorrow. Didn't expect to stream. I know. Let me close this because I'm not going to do this. Not today. We'll do it tomorrow. Komabu, what's up, friend? How was the week? The week was good. I went to visit some IRL stream friends. I went to visit stream friends IRL. There we go. That was the one. Nailed it. All right, let's go to Point Hope. We got there. It just took me a second to get to the end of the road. Yeah. Thank you for the 2 months. Crushed it. Got it. Okay. Another phantom. Demon. I'm down. I'm down, Charlie Brown. Poor, thank you for the follow. Let's rock. Let's rock. Nightmare? Yeah. Yeah, we love a good Nightmare game. It's my favy. Paul Sweeney. Capture a photo, prevent, and repel. Let's rock. Hey, trio. Peggy! Oh, hey, how are you? How are you doing, Peggy? Peggy. Peggy, are you still there, friend? Are you here? Where are you? Dahlia! Dahlia, how much of a mess is there? Is there a lot? Hey, no one, how are you? A lot. I did not make a lot of mess. My mess was very minimal. What map is my favorite? My favorite map is Willow. I love. Damn it. Thank you, Olive. Son of a bitch. Oh my god, they're all locked. Oh. Got that one, I guess. There's a ghost in that house. Be careful. Thank you, Pav. Roger that. Blood Raven, thank you for the 3 months. Hello. Hey, how are you? I think for the monthly, by the way, I think it's going to be, I think we are going to do a long extended viewer day for the monthly goal. I didn't set it in the commands, but I think that will be what it is. Just so that way when Dahlia says, do you play with viewers? And I'll say, yeah, if we hit the monthly, I do. No hiding? I got some. There's this guy. This is hiding. It sure as hell don't look like it, but it is. Do you? If I hit my monthly, I do. Did I hear? No? I thought I heard some shite on the floor above. When's the viewers with drop game? When am I playing with viewers? If I hit my monthly on Twitch. Yeah. So since it's the 4th of the month, if we hit the end of the month. All right, let's find the power, which is going to be all the way at the top. And by the time I get to the top, and then it'll start to hunt me because I will have no goddamn say. Wow. Wow, what? Wow, what? Wem? Walked over the bone twice. That is correct. I could walk over it a third time if you'd like. Nice. I'll thank you for the biddies, Mars. No. The biddies go to my children. They don't go to me. All right. I haven't had any activity from Ghosty Pants. Ever thought about doing ghost gambling? I've done it. I just do it minimally because it's not my favorite thing in the world. It's fine. Yeah, we've done it. We're scaring Ghosty. You don't start there, do you? Okay. Roger that. See you floating. Appreciate you. Spend time in. I saw that, Phoenix. You went to an actual lighthouse. How was it? Was it creepy? Was it creepy? Hi, Sam. Thank God you're live. What do you mean? Stab. Thank you for the 4 months. Totally passed by this on the way up. Hello again, trio. We'll say it again. I don't know how many hellos you need. I'll give you a few. Fucking. We'll do a few of them. Minnie, thank you for the bids. How are the ghosties? This is the first one, Crow. This is the first one. We decided to start on Point Hope because we don't play Point Hope that much. We keep it on a minimum. Let's take sanity because it'll probably drain like crazy. Big Baba, thank you for the follow. Faz and a nap. Hey, that's a good routine. That is a damn good routine. Wraith confirmed. What happened? Did you have a Wraith? Point Hope is the best map on the bottom. Is the best map on the bottom of the map board. I don't know. I think I like Sunny Meadows more. Thank you, Olive. You fell asleep on the last stream? Wow, that says a lot. Hey, Velo, how are you? All right, we know where Ghosty is, so we're gonna get some stuff up there. Maybe I can get some possible instant evidence. So we're actually gonna leave book here and take this. Am I able to curse? Sure. But only if you say darn it and oh poo. That's it. Anything beyond that, and Big Twitch is gonna come down on you. Hey, what up, Jonathan? Nuka Dave! What up, homie? Dave, how's your challenge been going, man? Crazy Dave. Crazy Dave. What up, James? How are you? Crazy Dave. Shade. How dare you? Ducky! Thank you for the 5 months. Mother trucker, dude. Oh, don't do that to me. Oh my god. Hey, Caden. God, I thought that was a hunt. Did I didn't do that, did I? That wasn't me, was it? I don't remember getting that switch. Did I get that switch? Hope you had a fun trip. I did. It was a freaking blast, man. Yeah, it was awesome to see all the peeps. It was so good to hang out and talk to everybody. So good. What's up, Raj? All right, Ghosty. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, dude. I was about to say, I was like, does that actually start there and it's permanently there? No. We can pick it up. Okay, we're fine. Okay. I just want to pick up. Okay, you can literally pick up all this little shit. Ghost Friday about. Hey, Junior, what's up? What else can we pick up here? I'm just giving it shit. Ooh, okay. Roger that. No phalanges. Okay, good. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, you want to go to the camp. I get it. Relax. Was that a 5? Did I miss a 5? I thought that was a... Oh, maybe it was. That might have been a 5. This doesn't make sense. There you go. That makes more sense. Definitely no phalanges. Hey, Lily Bean. Freezing. I think you're right. Well, or was that a 4? It sounded like a 5. Thought it was a 4. Okay, we need to confirm. That might have been a 4. Now I'm not sure. Okay, dude. Why do I have the makeup into my hand? We're not playing viewers, Dusty. You're welcome to try the Phasmophobia Discord, or you can try my Discord to look for viewers, or to look for games to play with people. Yeah. Or if you're looking on... Hold on, where's the 4? Give me the 4. Where's the 4? Did it sounded like that, right? I'm not sold on that being a 5. I'm not sold. What up, Nathan? I'm not sold. It was a 4. I think it was a 4 too. All right, we have freezing then. Let's rock. We'll keep moving. We'll be fine. 'Twas a fall. Mark this. this so we don't forget. Definitely have freezing though, because I had negative. 100%. Turn on the light. Yeah. Well, I mean, it can't be a mare anyway because I have freezing temps. So we don't even have to worry about that. Don't worry your little head about it. It was 100% above an EMF 1. You know what? Facts. Fair. Fair play. You. Give me that guy. Give me that guy. Best and worst cursed object. That's going to be per the player. What I think is the best and worst is going to be very different than what you think is the best and the worst. Demon's still on there? Yeah, but it hasn't hunted yet. It's very, very eventy. But, well, not, is it really eventy? I mean, it's what? It did the walking event. It's just very active. It's very active. It did the walking event. It did the air. Well, no, it can't. Literally can't be. It farted on us. It can't be that guy. Hasn't shut the power off yet, though. Could be a Jimmy Jim. Could be a Jimmy Jim. Not a shade. Well, I wouldn't discount that on this map. That's for sure. Thunderbolt, what in the absolute hell are you doing? Sweet Lord. Hi, Miles. Doing well, friend. How are you? Jesus. And Lynn, I saw the tier 1 friend. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Sheesh. When's it coming to console? Halloween event time. Oh my God. Oh my God. You know what? We're not going to take another one. We're going to take a crucifix instead. Do I need to prevent a hunt with a crucifix? I do. We're going to risk it for the biscuit. We're going to risk it for the biscuit. That's right. The bits go to the kids. They're going to eat tonight. Thunderbolt, thank you so much, man. Oh my God. Last time we played, you got the Revenant. It was very fast. Inevitably, yes, they will be. The power is still on. This is making me lean towards Jen. Jenny, thank you for the bits. Draco, thank you for the BDs. Is that... No, this is tier 2. This is a tier 2. The tier 1 looks like 2 sticks put together. This is the tier 2, and the tier 3 is the silver one. Yeah. Yeah. Is it going to be like a badge or something on the Halloween event? Is what going to be a badge? The console release? What? What? Post gaming clarity, thank you for the prime. Okay. That should cover the room pretty well. Where are you?
Over here.
I don't know if I've ever heard that before. Interesting. Well, I don't have orbs, but that doesn't mean there's not any orbs. I've been getting orbs late AF. Hey, Pixel, how are you? Welcome in. I've been getting them so damn late recently, but if there's one thing that I'm glad that they've done, I'm glad that they changed the orbs. The orbs are way easier to see now. Don't you have Spirit Box? I do. Yeah, I have multiple. Freezing? Yep. Yep. This. I don't see orbs, so that means... Hey. Good to see ya. Excuse me. I'm just gonna go out here. So we're looking at twins, Onryo or Moroi. So the question is my sanity gonna start draining like crazy? No UV. Well, I'm on Nightmare. Because I have Spirit Box and Freezing, I'm on Nightmare. I'm not gonna get UV. Not gonna get it. So you get 2 pieces of evidence, which would be this and this, and then the only other possible thing I could get would be this, because with a mimic, the orbs are fake. So we don't see them, so we'll just say not a mimic, which means twins, Onryo, Moroi. This one, you'll hear the speed without line of sight, know what it is. So you're really trying to differentiate Onryo and Moroi. How can you tell the difference? Well, draining your sanity speeds this one up. what you could do is you could up your sanity and then do a 3 candle test with an Onryo, or you could try to drain your sanity on purpose and then prevent the hunt with candles. There's lots of different ways that you could test between these two. You could use the cursed object though, drain your sanity, and if it's fast AF, it's a Moroi and you don't have to worry about shit. That's probably what I would do because it just saves time. I don't know if I know what the cursed object is, but we need to get a smooge anyway. So let's go get a smooge. I don't think it'd be twins. We don't know. I don't know. Hard to say. Why don't you just say the ghost name? Well, what is that going to do? It's not going to... going in the room and saying Paul Sweeney, it's not going to be like, I'm an Onryo. Like, it might make it active, but that's not going to change the outcome of the game. If you had a camera, you could have gotten a ghost pick. I could have. Yeah, I could have. But we were worried about figuring out what it was at the time. I wasn't side questing quite yet, so we'll get this guy and this guy. We got to get the crucifix, so I'm going to take another one up there, probably. Yeah. Are you a young boy? Recently found out 3 candle thing isn't guaranteed. No, it is. It is guaranteed. Have I ever played with other Twitch players? Well, I am a part of a Twitch team called Midnight Society. So yes. Yes, I have. Hey, Nix. Yeah, it's not a... There's no bug with that. No, the Onryo, if it blows out 3 fires and there's no other fires present, it will hunt. It'll attempt to hunt. If it's not hunting and you think it's a bug, my guess, you didn't wait up to 7 seconds and you lit another fire and you canceled the Onryo's ability. I would almost guarantee it. So if you can show me footage that there's no other fires that were started, like lit, whatever, and you just had the 3 candles, that was it, and it did it, it was an Onryo, didn't hunt, then I would submit it to the bug report. Yeah. I waited for sure. And you're sure that there were no other fires that were lit? You're sure that it didn't blow out a match, a lighter, and anything? 100% on that? You weren't playing with other people? Because if you're playing with other people, you can't guarantee anything. Not unless you know what they were doing too. Can anyone join the Discord? Yep. Alright. No other fires, no other lighter blowout, solo, just 3 candles in Tanglewood living room. And it was an Onryo. Yeah, unless you have clips or proof or anything like that, it's really hard to judge what happened. Yeah. Yep. Long stream or regular? Probably shorter. Probably shorter, if anything. Thank you for the follows. Matt, legend, appreciate it. See, okay, that confuses me. EMF 3, right? What does an EMF 3 mean? What does that stand for? I'm good. Thank you. A throw. Right. What can ghosts not do when the lights are on? I have the lights on here and in there. The ghost is a Moroi, an Onryo, or twins. The fuck? Is it easy to get Doomslayed? No. It's complete RNG. 100% RNG. Yep. You just keep rolling the dice. Yeah. I've had door touches that are EMF 3s, and I don't know why. And I don't know why. Try Moroi test. What is the Moroi test to you? Did I take any sanity, by the way, when I went back down there? Did I or did I not? Yo, Baslin, thank you for the... Get out of here. Thank you for the dono, homie. I appreciate you. Did I take one after getting... Okay, let me specify. Did I take one after getting the spirit box response? Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I did? Okay, because I could have stopped the... If I was cursed, I could have stopped it. Yeah. Well, here, we could do it like this. Fuck this. Here. I have 2 crucifixes in here, right? All right. We'll do the cheap man's Onryo test. This might be a bad idea, but F it, we're gonna go for it. We'll go for it. Why not? Paul Sweeney. Paul. Shut up. Paul. Paul. I'm going to get it to blow out my Bic lighter 3 times for an Onryo test. The light doesn't have to be off for them to blow out the lighter. Paul. Hey, what up, Drew? It's a what? That's what it is. I mean, come on. Okay, it's the dollar store brand. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. There's one. Hey. No. Leave it alone. Paul. Hey. You jerk hole. Leave it on. Paul. You're rude. Paul. Paul. Hey, Paul. That's what time it is for me, by the way, in case you're curious. It's almost 3 o'clock. Paul. Paul. Thank you, Royal. Paul? Paul? I'm trying to retain my sanity to do an official, to do a legit Onryo test like this. Yeah, that was at 3 on the money, yeah. Paul, please. Blow it out. Let's go. Hop 2. Or hop, never mind. What's that sound going off? Who's this? Paul, what are you doing, dude? What is the EMF 3? Maybe he's stuck here. Are you stuck? Do you need help, bro? Upstairs? No, if it was upstairs, it wouldn't be able to blow out my firelight like that. Lighter or whatever, you know? Paul. Nothing? Okay. Saved me having to go back downstairs to go get 3 firelights. All right. So twins are all right. All right. What is our Koi's possession? Did I look upstairs? By chance? Oh, well, actually, let's look down here. Because it might be in here. Nope, no Frank. Hi, Bruce. Hi, Bruce. You're sus of the twins. It's hard to say. When twins can only be on the same floor. It might have been cards. It might have been cards and I could have missed it. That's the problem. 'Tis the problem. You know how many times it's used its ability? But the ability wouldn't have been EMF 3. Is it a Waluigi? Alright, do I have hiding on the floor below me? Ah, fuck, it's fine. We'll just floor it downstairs. Alright. Hide and seek. Goodbye? Ah, fuck. It's too late. I should have drained my sanity first. Mistakes were made. I hear nothing. Fucking nothing, dude. Cool. That was fun. Did you guys have fun? I had fun. Okay. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you near?
In a way.
Yeah, I bet you are. Did you find the bone? Well, we can try to find it. Shut up. Am I the object? Is it me? Am I the EMF 3 that's been going off the whole goddamn time? Oh no. All right. What am I looking for? What are we doing? The ghost ain't ghosted. I'm out of here. F this place. It's fine. Onward. Maybe I was the ghost all along. The Moroi curse. That was the idea. That was the idea, that if I could get Ghosty to... Oh, I don't have a tier 3. Oh, I don't have a tier 3 parabolic, so I can't hear through the floor. How many evidence do we have? We have 2. I made a mistake. I didn't drain my sanity before making it hunt, so now it's being a skeet up bada. Yeah. Yeah. What I could do is, I mean, I could go get another smudge. I mean, well, really what I could do is I could just go sit in the dark in that bathroom floor and just wait there. Painted the lower equipment. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Not playing with viewers cam. Yep. Yeah, usually unless you see a stream where somebody says playing with viewers in the title or something like that, they're probably not. Okay. So right here is a pretty decent spot. I like to hide here a lot. So if we just sit here, wait, is there a candle in here? I think there is, but you can't actually light them, which makes no goddamn sense. Alone in the dark? Yep. F it. Just wait here and wait till it hunts. We'll just wait till it hunts. We'll just hang out. That's fine. If it is a Moroi, then our sanity will drain, our passive sanity will drain twice as fast. So it'll be fine. You didn't see right here, Rick? Oh, sorry, right here. We are playing Nightmare, yeah. Wet candle. Well, they have candles in the bathroom. Sheesh. Did you hear that shit? I want it. Can I have the other one too? Fuck. We'll just take this one. Mm-hmm. Prison's worst map? Lies. Slander. High school. High school. Worst map. All day, every day. All day, or day. All day, or day. Absolute worst. All day, or day. Hassong. It might eat the other crucifix, so I might have to go get it, but we'll wait. The ghost is stinky. I made a mistake, which drugged this out. It's fine. You mean best? How dare you? Dude is schmoovin'. No, fast twin? No. I think that's a Moroi. I think that's too fast for twins. I think that's too fast. What's up, Justin? That thing is schmoovin'. If we let it hunt again, I bet it would be fast, if not faster. Yeah, that would seem way too fast. Way too fast. Shut up. I said shut up. Open. Fucking open the door, nerd. There it is. Gimme. Hey, Wraith. Here, put that there. Put up the site. It should be too fast for twins. It should be too fast. In my terrible opinion, it sounds like a Moroi. I think it does. Yeah. Or not. Oh. That is a twin. No, listen. I didn't fucking dip. That's why I didn't leave. It sounded way too fast for twins, but apparently not. Footsteps in lighthouse is strange to me. That sounded way too fast. I mean, a Moroi can't get slower if you're not taking sanity. So if it does end up being the Moroi, then it's obviously broken. Yeah, here. I got it covered. We're fine. Open. Oh. What are you talking about? Sanity. Ghost. Twins. How's that possible? How's what possible? Get Bruce. Nah, we like to leave Bruce up there to keep the ghost, to get, excuse you. Fucking missed it. To give the ghost someone to hang out with. Yeah. Difficulty's nightmare. We made it. Bro, it was too fast for twins. Bro, it literally slowed down and we didn't take sanity.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
Bro. Not too fast, right? To me, it sounded too fast. Yeah, it wasn't, obviously. Twin. But it was, yeah. What are the main differences between intermediate and nightmare? Why intermediate and nightmare? Why not intermediate and pro? Mama Lee's, hello. Hey, Kython, welcome in. All right, we're going to do Ridgeview. I definitely guessed twins, not demon. Game's broken. No, I bet if I went back and I listened to the twin speed separately, it would probably be fine. I haven't played in a few days. Yeah. I haven't played in a few days. Okay, let's rock. Thank you, Jax. Yeah. Level 100 is when you can prestige. Level 100. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kim. Kim Huntley. Parabolic microphone. We need to get an average sanity of 25 and firelight. Footage view. Fuck. I'm trying to keep my eye on my phone just in case. Mr. Rappa. What up, homie? Just in case. I keep forgetting that I have the tier 2 of this. Walking around in the dark for no reason. Hi, Ms. V. Did you have fun with all the friends? I did. I did. Had a freaking blast. All right, let's get the juice. Been good, twin. How have you been? How old are you? Goodbye. 81. After that. $81. Oh, thank you, friend. No Thay? Why not? Guessing unreal. I'm guessing upstairs, back bedroom. Next year, going to DollyCon? Hell yeah. Ghosty. What up, little David? Watch on YouTube. I appreciate you, man. Bud. What is the best hiding spot? That's situational. There is no best hiding spot. It's all dependent on where the ghost is coming from and where you are. Yeah. The AI generated ears. That's right. They're fake. They ain't real. Gorio upstairs bathroom? Which one? Which one? Which one? Which pate? The one with the light or without the light? With, without. With, without. Choices, choices. The left? Okay. Roger that. You think that 81 is too old for a Thay to start? No, that's incorrect. It can start at 81. If you're a Gorio in here, I'm going to be really pissed that they're right. Don't be close by either. What are you looking at? Booba? Where did that boobah come from? Boobah? Was that a... Is that a... Are they both basement? Is there a garage boobah? Garage boobah? There's a garage boobah, right? Oh boy. That's a basement boobah. That's a basement boobah. That's a basement boobah. Oh, great. Oh, great. Wait, there's 3 of them on this map? Well, shit. Oh, it's the one that's usually guarding the breaker. It's that one. Now I understand. Now I know. There's usually one that's like right next to where the breaker is. It's that one. You have one that's in the garage. You have two that are in the basement. Booba! Why basement ghosts? Because that's what they do. It's what they do. Hi, yi, yi. Aben, hello. That's all right. They're there to test us. It's fine. No evidence. No, it's Nightmare Run. Nightmare Run. Henry, thank you for the follow. What's up, Bright? Welcome in. Normally have to loop it. That's why I like Ridgeview and I like Grafton and I like Tangle and all those because they do have looping spots. It is nice. It is nice. I'm good. RMR, how are you? All right, we have these guys and this guy. I got a lighter, I think. Okay, we're good. Take everything down to the basement, which is annoying. Yeah. Especially because you take everything down to the basement, and the second you get everything down to the basement, they change rooms. Yeah, they literally change rooms. That part's annoying. Anonymous! Thank you for gifting a sub to Krieg. Thank you, friendo. Oh my goodness. Oh, fuck! Oh, that guy just got done like embalming bodies. And now the ghosts are here to take vengeance on him, and now he's brought all of that crap here. Fuck! Hi, Doc! Welcome in, sir. How was the rest of your stream? Doc was playing Mortuary Assistant. If you guys missed it, I would highly recommend. Okay, I get it. You are a graffiti artist and you really want me to check out your work. I'm really not interested right now. Doc is amazing. He is an amazing friend. Okay, we're good. Wonderful at all said games. He's going to tell you that he is not, but he is the best. I learned how to play Phasmo from Doc. So if you're ever looking for somebody that's amazing that plays with viewers, Doc is your guy. Doc, how was your stream? How was, friend? Guys, welcome in. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Doc taught me everything I know. I wouldn't be where I am today without Mr. Doc. But no, Doc was playing Mortuary Assistant. I was lurking. I was watching for a little bit. I was able to, when I stopped to pick up my doggo, I said hi to him for a couple minutes, was hanging out for a little bit before then I drove home, and then I got home. So then we're here. Full of squishy sounds. Yeah, you were playing with Capri Suns. That's what we call those. Ugh. 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 Gross. Yuck. Yuck. What are you playing? Phasmophobia. Doc might have taught you everything you know, but did he teach you everything he knows? I don't have a screen to cut to like Doc does. Should have seen his Lethal Company run yesterday. Total pro. Oh, I'll have to watch. If Doc knows a lot, why did he? For the entertainment. What do you mean? It's for the funsies. It's for the funsies. He admits it. He dies way more when he's playing with other people than he does by himself. It's because it's for the fun. Doc, I appreciate you, man. Thank you again for the raid. I hope that the rest of the stream was amazing. Gone for a few seconds, new map. Yeah, we moved on to Ridgeview. Yeah. For the content. That's right. That is right. Tries to save everyone from the ghost. That's correct. That is correct. He is our Lord and Savior, Senior Doc. So I have hiding here, which is just really unfortunato, which is not what I want. Thanks. Go there, go there, go there. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you near? Are you close? Are you near? Where are you? Are you angry? Where are you? Are you near? Are you close? Are you near? Where are you? Are you far? Nothing. Oh, it's cold. It's freezing. Hey, can you throw something over here and give me any of my fire? That was loud as shit. Oh, footsie doodles, run! Are you taking a poop? I hope not down there. Molo, thank you for gifting a sub. All right, we got freezing and we got ultraviolet. I don't think we have orbs, which would mean demon haunt to Jim. I could try, but I don't know if it would succeed. 2 evidence, yeah. A hunt could give this away though. Yeah, with these ghosties, if I don't have orbs, we have demon haunt to Jin. So what that means is that if the ghosty sprints at us with line of sight, it is a yim, especially if it is normal speed without line of sight. If it's really fast and it's ghost room and then all of a sudden it's slow outside of it, it's a huntu. And then if it's a normal speed everywhere, no matter what, demon. If it's a demon, this is a really crap demon because it's done nothing. It's done squiggity squat. 25% parabolic and firelight. Hopefully we don't die. Let's see, we have this. Okay. I'm gonna snooze the ads though. We're gonna snooze them. Get snoozed on. Okay. They've been snoozed on. They've been snoozed on. Maybe this time a Hantu. I would like a Hantu. I like Hantus. It's nice to show the Hantu's ability. The problem with doing it here though is that, especially if it's it doesn't matter if it's garage or not. It's hard to loop to where ghosty, where the breaker is, and then turn the breaker off, and then be like, hey, look, there's its breath, because then it, it's dark and you get trapped, and well, that sucks. Yeah. Do a demon test with the crucifix. Do you know how to measure meters inside of Phasmophobia? Hi, Strawn. Ready yet? Gets it. One sprint step? No. One regular step. But you're also trying to bank on being able to watch where the ghost spawns and seeing if it spawns outside of the range of where a demon can spawn. I don't know anybody that tests a demon like that. How does one measure meters? The way you can do it is like this. I mean, I can show you a way of doing it. So like if I'm standing here like this is probably a demon. So with one solid step, like without it being too soon, one, like that, right? So like, no, that's way too late. That's 5. That's roughly 5 meters. Ayo. That's roughly 5 meters. Insim has. Well, Insim has, but is it practical to sit there with a demon and try to watch where it spawns and every single time say, oh, it's a demon because it hunted outside of this range instead of in this range? Do you know what I mean? Is that practical to do that every time? No. Is it a cool thing to learn to do it like that? Yeah, of course. All right. Hey, Wave. Thank you, Doc. Now I think it's a demon, and we have no smoogies. Regular speed. Son of a bitch. Thank you, Bello. Did it kill the breaker? Yes. I think. Thanks for the follows. Son of a bitch. What a prick. All right, let's go get a smooge. Let's go get a smooge. Which ghost is the easiest to identify with no evidence? Mimic. Mimic, it's your time to shine. I don't think so, man. Here, I'll show you a lap real quick. Rever Dio? No. If I go to Camp Woodwind, I go to this monitor and I see orbs. It's a mimic. I can leave. Can you do that with a Rever Dio? No, you can't. I believe they say get rizzed on. I think that's what the kids say. I believe that is what they say. Let's get one of these. Jesus. They do love the Riz. And Skibbity. Yeah. I need to turn the breaker back on. They say Riz something. Oh. Come on, jerkhole. But there's Riz all over the place. We call Coach the Rizzler. Z, what up, homie? Yeah, the Rizzler. It's kind of like a Batman villain. Ah, the Rizzler. Or maybe like I don't know. Maybe the Rizzler could be in like Spider-Man or something, you know? Thank you for the follow. No, it's Nightmare. It's Nightmare. How's the day been? Day been good. How was your day been? When you hide next to the fridge, but the ghost is a midnight snacker? Yikes. Wait, you need a lighter? Well, how else are you going to light this thing? Demon. Still unsure. No, I wanted to get the parabolic microphone. Yeah. So that 100% confirms. 100% confirms. Then we can also go down here and try to get the... Oh. Oh, it's lovely to see you. Grandmama. 30, thank you. Whisper. So, didn't sprint. It's a demon. We need to get below 25. I mean, I could always... What was our object? It was the... This guy? Where are you? Where's the bone? How old are you? Yep. Got it. Trust issues. That felt like she was going to path me, and I didn't like it. How'd you know it was a demon? Knew it was a demon because we were able to cancel out these other ghosts. Yeah. That's how. So by looking at what we had left, because we have ultraviolet and freezing, we didn't have orbs, so that means no mimic. See you later. And then it's between these three, and a hunt basically gives it away. If the power's on, you can test this and know what it is. So it wasn't, it was a complete normal speed ghost in the ghost room. Outside of the ghost room, Hantu is gone. So then you're looking at either a demon or a djinn. So a difference with these two when the power's on is that when a Jinn is over 3 meters away from you, it will sprint when it sees you, has line of sight. And then once it gets within like 3 meters, I think it's 3, it'll slow to normal speed. So you'll actually hear it sprint and then slow down when it loses line of sight. So it didn't do that. It was a normal speed. Once it saw me, we knew it was that, but then we also, yeah. And it's also hunting like crazy, so we knew it was a demon. Plenty of different things that were pointing us in the right direction, but I wanted to get all of the stuffs and things. And it kicked the power on us. Lots and lots of different things that you can use to just start narrowing down the ghost. You're basically playing Guess Who. Basically playing Guess Who. Isn't it Gen 2.5 when it does line of sight ability?
There's some jobs ready for you.
Is it 2.5? Is it when it gets within 2.5? I thought it was 3. I could be wrong. I could 100% be wrong. Chilling, eating a pizza pocket. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. All right, we're back to being above level 50, which is good. So we're level 51. Oh, the speed. Oh, I don't remember the speed exactly. Yeah, I don't remember the exact speed. I ate enough fruits and veggies. Time to eat like crap. All right, I have ads coming, guys. I run 3 minutes of ads every hour, so that way we don't have any ads that happen in the middle of the games. So if you don't have turbo, if you're not subbed, I waited the lobby for you. I'm going to move us over to an ad screen as soon as the ads begin, so you're not going to miss anything. Yeah. What is the first red badge? Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is your first red badge. Yeah. Yeah. So once you get to 5, you will have a red badge. Yep. Thank you for the follows. Welcome in. I was too late to start the ads myself, so I'm waiting for them to begin. Okay, there we go. What level do you have to be to get a prestige? 100. What up, Derpy? Hey, what up, Dragon? I'm good. How are you? How do you get the custom name card thing? The custom name card thing. What is the custom name card thing? Elaborate, please. What you mean? Do you mean this thing? Ask if it wants to leave. Is that what you mean? Hey, Revenge, what's up? Why do you see no ads? Sometimes you don't get served any. It happens. It just depends on region. Sometimes you just get lucky. It gets served differently, different times. One time you might get it, one time you might not. Yeah, it just depends. Yeah, it's the way that it always is. One time you might not get it, the other time you might get the entirety, like the entire thing. So that's why I try to just wait for the entire portion of ads to play, so that way I'm not like, most people are probably back. Like, no, I'll just wait. It's a 3-minute break. It's fine. Yeah, it's no biggie smalls. No biggie smalls. I think he means the... You forgot its name too. All right, good talk. Good talk. Hey, Poor, what's up? Mr. Beast's video ads are like 40 seconds. Correct. But he's doing ads where he's doing actual things where they're paid in. People are paying him to do read-ins. What we're doing whenever they happen on Twitch is that they are something that Twitch forces you to do, or they will do it for you. So by using their service, you are either going to A, do pre-rolls, where in other words, someone comes into your stream and the ads automatically happen anyway, no matter what, or B, you control them and you decide when they happen. So we treat it like a commercial break where you guys don't miss anything, rather than you coming in and then all of a sudden I'm almost done with a hunt and you're like, what the fuck? Like the ad just finished. Yeah. So I'm lucky enough to play a game where I can control it like that. So it's nice. We might as well like the amount you get from ads is shit. It's awful. It's not good. It's not good at all. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about being able to stop it from happening in the middle of games. That's what I care about. Yeah. The red card thing background on your like ID thing. Oh, the ID card. This thing. How do you get these things? So there's different ways. There's different ways to unlock these. So you can get them through prestiging. So every time you prestige, you get another one, which is one way. Or special badges where you can get them. A lot of them are unlocked through like events. Through Easter, Christmas time, Halloween, or certain badges are unlocked for certain people for certain things. Like I'm a Kinetic partner, so I am an official content creator for Phaz, so I get this guy. But you could go get this one right now, and it is not hard to do. It is extremely easy. There are plenty of videos out there to explain it. I have one to show you how to do it. If you go to my tubes, I've got a video to show you how to do it. It's not hard. Not hard at all. Yep. Not hard. It's an Easter egg for the Point Hope map. And you get this. It's an animated badge and it's awesome. It's one of my favorite badges. I love it, man. I love it. Yeah. Tis one of my favorites. And then you can also, another special, when you do the apocalypse stuff, you get these guys. They're supposed to be animated too, I think, but they're not right now. So who knows when that's going to happen. One of these days, Alice, one of these days. I need Lighthouse Keeper. It's really good. And it won't, seriously, man, it will take, if you follow the steps and you do it quickly, you can get it done in 5 to 10 minutes. Seriously. Seriously. Almighty. Thank you, friend. Appreciate you. Thank you for the prime. Daddy Wags, what up, man? What level to get the tier 3 EMF? I don't know. 52. 52. My next level, actually. Yeah. My next level. They should do the next April Fool. I would love it. I love when they participate in that stuff, man. The April Fool's things. Yeah. Sissy! Hi, friend. How are you? Good to see you. How are you? Let's do Edgefield. We're chilling, man. Again, we're chilling. We're kind of just, we're playing games, getting levels, sort of just moving along with the day and seeing where it takes us for now. And then I'm just waiting on standby for the fam. Whenever they say something, because I'm at the mercy of the fam because my wife has been with the kiddos. So whenever they are going to get home, then I'm with them. What up, Dark? Alpha, hello. Hi, Sin. All right. Let's go to Edgefield. Does it have to be no, you can do no. You can do the badge, the ferryman badge, you can do that on Friendly Ghost. It does not have to be on a certain difficulty like pro or whatever. No. It can be on Friendly Ghost. Yeah. No, you absolutely can. No, Lighthouse Keeper. You can absolutely do it on Friendly Ghost. That one, yeah, both of those you can do on Friendly Ghost. I did half of my games for both of those badges on Friendly Ghost. Yep. Confirmed via the Kinetic team. You can do it on Friendly Ghost. Yes. Jade, thank you for gifting Sissy a sub. Oh, thank you, friend. Thank you. And Sam, welcome back for 18 months. Yeah. All right. Bradley Phillips. Capture a photo, motion sensor, and rappel. Let's rock. Let us rock. Go. Just got sick. Oh, I'm sorry you're sick. I hope you feel better. Yeah, Olive, I would have to agree with you. Okay. I'm not exactly sure what. I forget why this happened. Why they did this. The reason behind this. Does anyone remember why they moved the bowl? Because they didn't move the music box. What was the reason for moving the bowl? Because the music box is my favorite cursed possession. It bothers me that this is fucked every time I get on Edgefield now. And this is like that. It's the little things, you know? Because they added fingerprints. That's right. That is right. Thank you, Lil. I totally forgot. You're right. That is right. Hi, Wonder Boy. You have OCD. No, it's fucking broken. I mean, like, what OCD? Like, it's glitching through the bowl. Like, do you think that they intended for this to be inside of a key bowl? Probably not. I would say probably not. Call me Cray. Set up or down? Wait. Did I just get to the end of it? Wait. What the fuck? What am I? But it was muffled. Bone. Is it in the basement? If it's in the basement, I'm extra confused. Ghosty? Okay, it might not be here, but I'm just gonna hurry and go get UV. Okay. That was interesting. I don't know what I heard. I don't know why the UV was only low and not high. That part I don't understand. Had something on that in the same spot. Really? Okay. Same spot upstairs. What the fuck? Is that what I heard? Or I got on the EMF reader? Son of a bitch. I had the... It was the fucking computer. Damn it. Well, that explains that. Stop it. All right. It all makes sense now. It's fine. It all makes sense. It's fine. Did I see my breath in here? I saw my breath. I just don't remember if it was here or here. I saw my breath. Where did I see it? Did I see it here? Okay. All right, I'll be back, Ghosty. I gotta go get my shit. Hey, Natty. It does make sense. Yeah, it definitely makes sense. We solved the mystery. Okay. So stupid. I was like, what the hell? Why am I only getting it downstairs and not upstairs? Because it wasn't a door. Because it touched the goddamn computer. Because look, I was getting it here, but I wasn't getting it here, and it wasn't making sense. Oh, because it touched that. Roger that. Okay. Okay. See air. All right, 3 degrees. Hey, Vid, what's up? Look at the ghosties. Thank you. Well, Shanks. Let's put this at the wall. Nothing. Sure we don't. Thank you for the follows. Welcome in. Difficulties on Nightmare. Yeah. Hey, Zelda. Welcome in. What the dickens? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? You were near. Where are you? Are you near? Are you close? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? That was a derb. Where was it? Oh, shit, that's another one. Okay, wait. Are you twins? Why did that sound like all the way down there and then all the way over here? Am I late? Yes, you're really late. I was asking about you like an hour ago. No, you're fine. I honestly wasn't planning on streaming today. So I appreciate you for being here. Welcome in. Okay. Don't you dare say sorry. I wasn't supposed to be streaming today. Hold on. My wife is calling me. Give me a sec. Hold, please. Hold. All is well. Okay. Are we done? We're done holding. Okay, we're good. All right. She will be home in like hour and a half ish. And all I was told was we're going to be tired. Feed us. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So I'm just going to crush some tacos on the island and just shovel it in there. Roger that. Pizza it is. I had a request for Cracker Barrel chicken tenders. Yeah, that's what I had a request for. High fate. It's like, all right. Well, I said, we'll get it. We'll get it taken care of. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Couldn't find the Jeopardy theme. Wow. Thank you, Fate. Wow, Storm. All right. What do we have? You. Desk. Can Cracker Barrel DoorDash? It's like a mile and a half from me. It's not very far. It's really not. Why do you check orbs in truck? Why is there a monitor in the truck? Like, why is this here? Why does this exist? That's all good, body. Like I said, I wasn't supposed to stream today. I wasn't even supposed to be here. I was supposed to not stream till tomorrow, but because I got home a bit early, because I knew that the fam was getting home a bit early, so you can watch your friends die, obviously. Well, I mean, that's peak why you watch this, but that's not the only reason why. It's not the only reason why you watch it. Yeah. You set your camera up, you watch for dots and book, and then you also check for orbs while you're here, because now I can see the orbs like that instead of putting myself in danger by sitting there with the camera and staring at it. So if you ever wonder, like, man, why am I dying all the time while I'm checking for stuff? Because I'm checking it like this while you're checking it like that. Anywho. All right, I need a motion sensor. Do I already have a stick up there? I do. Let's get this. Play smarter, not harder. That's right. What up, GS? How many minutes left? 27 minutes and 37. I have no idea, body. I don't set minutes on how many minutes I'm going to stream. I just go until I go. Yep. Yeah, I don't necessarily know anybody that like sets like per minute for like how long they stream. We'll set these around. Do one of those guys. I'm good. How are you? I am doing swell. How's it? Did that mother effer just like walk through me and then play with the bear and then fart on me? Did all of that happen within a span of like no time? Ew. Just ew. Gross. Raiju Yokai, you're a Banshee Thay. Imagine being farted on. I don't have to imagine. I already did it, Alana. Help. How are you, Lana? The disrespect. Absolute disrespect. Do I have room for another smooge? I do. Okay. We'll be fine. Cover your face. Yeah, seriously. You're into some weird shit. Hey, I didn't ask for it. Ghosty delivered. I didn't freaking DoorDash it. Know what I'm saying? Like the vids, I appreciate it. Thank you. Hold on. Well, that was fucking instant. Yeah, whatever this sound, this pitch change shit that's happening. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do this. Yep. I don't know. I'm still disturbed by the piano sounds. That still bothers. Okay, homie slice, F it off. You play Phasmo Roblox? Yeah, I know some people that play that. I played it once. Yep. You don't respect the elderly? Oh, Bradley Phillips. Okay, that was directly next to me, wasn't it? You know what? Hold on. Don't wait, do I have no, I don't. Hold on. I'm gonna go get a camera. Hey, Lake Point Hope. It's a really good map. It is a really, really good map. I'm hoping that they keep the momentum moving, you know, keep it schmoving. Relax. I should. Yeah. Haven't played in ages. I played it once. I just don't care about it. I'm hoping that once they release the console version of Phas, I stop hearing about it. That's the damn prayer. You. One smudge is enough. Did it just cut the power? When's that stream? Tomorrow. I think the odds just went up of what ghost this is. Jay, thank you for gifting to Jason. I think the odds just went up. Whatever. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Blair. Maybe it was Spectre. I don't remember. Can Raiju early hunt near electronics? Yes, it can. Dude, this has got to be a Banshee, right? Although the room is right there. It's not very far. It's not very far away. Banshee scream. Go. A little more from here. Spit on that thing. I hate it here. Come on, do it. Has laryngitis. Oh. Come on. And a 1. And a 2. And a... Look, it keeps walking in here, man. Come on, ghost. Tiwa. I guess I don't need the camera anymore, huh? Goo. Oh, it's down there. That's fine. Come on, man. Do it. A lot of whispers. A lot of whispers, but it's not doing the thing. Bradley Phillips. I want a Banshee scream this instant. Do that thing. No doors are shut, right? None. Except for this one. I know Surefire way to get a screech. First, go like this. Spin around. Stop. Double take 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Pelvic thrust. Stomp on your right foot. Don't forget it. Now it's time to bring it around town. Bring it around. Then you do this. Then you do this. Then you do that. Okay, okay, okay. 360. Imagine if it would have fucking done it. Goddess, thank you for the raid. It didn't like it. It didn't like it. We shouldn't do that anymore. Nope. No, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to go downstairs. Fuck. Goddess Willow, thank you for the raid. How was your stream? We're going to stop doing that. Watch it not even. Watch it be a stupid Raiju or something. Careful, SpongeBob. Here, let's put this over here. Good, played some Phas. Nice. How are your ghosties? Mine are okay. F these shoes, by the way. If you ever see these shoes, we say F these shoes. Why? You know. Life. I have a lighter, right? I don't have a lighter. I don't have a lighter. I don't know. I don't know if I didn't grab one or what. I don't have a lighter. Shit. I don't have a lighter. I don't know why I didn't grab one. E. Ah. E. E. the sound sounded like an old VHS. Shit. Damn it. Next. Oh, hello. Well, that was almost really bad. I need to repel it anyway, and I wasn't paying attention because I was too worried about the ghosty. Listen, I'm aware of what they did, okay? I know that they gave us something to benefit that literally does nothing to stop me from holding these other items. I know. Shut up. Shut your lips, damn it. Shut up. Shut the hell up right now. Shut up. Okay, I'm ready. Did the same thing the other day. I do it frequently. I do it. I hate that pocket. That stupid little jean pocket. That one, like the little guy that's right there. Who wants that? Hello. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. We don't have to worry about smudge test for timing. We're worried about these ghosties here. So it's sped up with line of sight. That completely removes the possibility for they. It did not speed up with electronics. So that gets rid of that. We're going to go get... Let's see. I don't know, man. I'm still sus of a Banshee. My issue is that it's just not doing Banshee things. You know? You know what I mean? So we could do a yokai test right here. Do I want to put the smudge there? Not really. But your daddy gave me a kiss. Are you a yokai? Yeah. We were giving Coach shit about that. What's the evidence? The evidence is dots and orbs. Orbs and dots and orbs and dots and orbs and dots. A stupid Ure. Yeah. What I could do... This. When I hear it come over there, we go. If it doesn't come over, hopefully it doesn't path to here just by chance. This is a good distance to test for a yokai. If I do that and it doesn't come over here, then it's a yokai. Still, again, suspicious of a Banshee. Is Banshee the one that stalks? Yes. Yeah. But it won't stalk across floors unless it's a regular room. Hold on. Hold on. I've never experienced the dot bug before. I've never experienced the dot bug before. Please explain. Allow me. So what that was, the ghost was in a dot state when it started hunting. So it was invisible while it was hunting. This is a bug that's been in the game for quite a while, where people die when they can't see or hear the damn ghost. Yeah. That might be the first time I've ever actually seen it in person. Should remove the dots. Oh, I definitely should now. Oh, it's his first day. Oh, okay. So we could hear it. Oh, you son of a bitch. So we could hear it. Yeah. GS, if you're asking for advice of what to do inside of Roblox, you're in the wrong place, dude. Imagine a ghost with invisible hunt ability. That would suck. Trunk, thank you for the follow. Yeah, it'd be, yeah. I mean, there are some ghosts that have some things that are easy to identify. It's just RNG to run into it, though, you know? Hey, Vela. Did I enjoy it? It was fine. I wouldn't play it again. Son of a bitch. Minnie, thank you for the biddy. Okay. Okay. It was invisible again. I hope that it leaves that state now. It did. I hear it. I hear it moving now. Came right to me. Came right to me. Okay. Don't think that's a yokai. Your A time. Well, we have no doors that have been slammed. It's taken a shower. Okay. Cleaning off. Fair play. I'm still leaning Banshee. I also think it's a shy Banshee. Agreed. I think we're just getting extremely unlucky with it giving us the Banshee whale. Yeah. Mr. Mike. What time is it for you now? It is currently 4:10 p.m., sir. It is 4:10 p.m. for me. Is it stalking you? We weren't on the same floor. If it's a Banshee and I'm not on the same floor as it, it's not going to stalk me. Yeah. The only way a Banshee can stalk me across floors is if its main room is in an attic or a basement. Yep. Kind of want to go Banshee and say F this ghost. It's being a turd. We're going for it. Didn't know that exception. I don't think any of us knew that for a really long time.
Welcome back.
Stalking across floors is broken. They didn't notice this in 4 months. I was told, Mike, and you can correct this. You can, like, if there's testing that's been done. I was told that apparently the Banshee has been able to do that attic, basement, stalking across floor thing ever since the game released. Is that true? Is that actually true? Yeah, we just had a shitty Banshee. Didn't want to talk to us, man. But it did a few singing events. That was leading us to it. But I mean, any ghost can do that. You just have to be careful. He's got to be careful. All right, let me check where my wife's location is. So that way I know what I'm doing about food. About FUD. Performance anxiety. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe supposed, but giving it, however, never did. I could never get video evidence of it happening. Right. I doubt it was right. I doubt it was working. So it was there, intended, never actually did it. Right. Right. I was also told, apparently, that the Jin ability is still a thing where you can put the EMF on the breaker and you can still get the EMF too from the Jin draining sanity. And I was like, I haven't seen that since Apocalypse update. They're like, yeah, it still works. I'm like, I would love to test that and actually see it still work. They're like, yeah, I was like, people tell me that they see it. I'm like, do you have a clip? Well, no. I'm like, well, I haven't seen it. Yeah. Like Ed. Hi, friend. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, weird. The Banshee was bugged in other ways for a long time. Oh, well, that's like a lot of the ghosties. That's like a lot of the ghosties. Why incense tier 1? Because it doesn't change the speed of the ghost. And that's what I like doing. Do it tomorrow then. Easy science? Oh, you mean for the Jin? I did the Jin thing like 2 days ago. It still works. Okay. Unless it was like sneakily added back in and I didn't know it. So the next time I get a Jin, I'm going to have to double check for it then. Because I don't know what the distance is that you have to be. So that's something for you, Mike. I don't know what the distance is that a player has to be from the Jin for it to do that ability. I don't know. When it's coming to console? During the Halloween event. During the Halloween event this year, it is to come to console. That is the word on the street. Word on the street. Inu! How's the weekend? The weekend was good. 'Twas good, friend. Do the breaker thing. Well, I can't do that if I don't have a Jin. I can't do. Oh, okay. Hold on. If I don't have a Jin, I can't do it. Three meters. You have to be within 3 meters of the Jin doing the. Okay. Oh. Wait, did you think I could just like do the Jin ability test without the Jin? How would that work? Exactly. Do tell. We are all ears. Bass, hello. Andrew Gayton, parabolic microphone, rappel, and firelight. It's about to be a deal. I'm pretty sure everybody that's guessed the ghost recently has been completely wrong. I think. If I've seen that correctly. Yeah. Log on to beta where they can choose the ghost. Select the Jin. And Bob Joe. Yeah. I'm very curious. I'm very, very curious. Very, very curious. Ew. Everybody guess. Listen, there's only 24 possibilities. I mean, it's inevitable for somebody to get it right, right? Everybody's on shade. I don't know. Any viewers? Nope. The lighter? What about it? Oh, because I don't have it? But I don't have a smudge either. So, I mean, the lighter's not going to save me. Lighter ain't going to save me. Lighter ain't going to do nothing. It's obviously no Bake. I mean, didn't you hear it not make noise like this entire time? Until right now. We were investigating that on the last map on Edgefield. I was putting the motion sensor at the top of the stairs and I was going all the way downstairs and coming back up just so we could hear the Doppler effect. It sounded like a VHS that had like ran way too many damn times and it's the pitch change. I'm Ryan Juvier. All right, Ghosty, you're throwing a bunch. Are you a Polty? Hello. Thank you for the follows. Welcome in. Are you taking a poo op? Where are you? Hey. 16. Makes no sense given how slow player. Yeah, I don't understand why there's a pitch change. I don't understand that. I don't know why that happens all of a sudden. Like, why is that now a thing? No idea why that's happening. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening either. Wait. Wiki, thank you for the prime. Also this. That the fact that the piano keys get cut off hurts my soul. I don't know why. I don't understand. It was the one-armed man. Stresses you out. It stresses me out. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand it either. Yeah. It's been like that. Yeah, it's been like that since Ascension. I think so. It's been like that for a really long time. I remember when I first saw it. Yeah. Can he read YouTube comments? No, it's not capable. No. He tried, but then he his ear started smoking and then he just exploded. How are you, Fire? Add an adrenaline system to the player, like when line of sight of the ghost, you get like a speed of boost, longer sprint. Yeah, but then what if they do that and then they add something where like your vision starts to get like crazy because your adrenaline, you're not seeing straight? Would that be okay? Because I mean, if your adrenaline's pumping like that, would you really be seeing okay? Probably not. Taking Discord, and I was like, wait a minute, did I just hear Flash say poo-op? I say poo-op sometimes, yes. Yeah, go in. Hey, doctor, how are you? We already have a super loud heartbeat because of adrenaline. We do. Yeah, we do. Indeed. Indubitably. All right. Nothing. Roger that. Let's put one of these in there for kicks. Yeah. Just for kicks. And I'm going to grab the lighter. I have a lighter in my possession. You see it, I see it, they see it. Okay? I'm good. Cozy. Pumpin', how are you? My favorite map is Willow. Yeah. We have the power of fire. We does. You don't see it? Shut up. Shut up right now. Hello? Andrew? You want to talk about it? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Where are you? Are you near? Are you close? Miss Squeeze Me. Ultra, what are you doing on the stairs? What up, Jay? It's still 5 degrees here, though, so don't you dare move down here, though. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. We've got phalanges. Where are you? Are you near? Do you like tater chips? Mr. Cheap. How are you, bro, Tater? How are you, my friend? Mr. Cheap, Mr. Cheap. Guys, go follow Tater Cheap. We missed you, my friend. We missed you so much. Did I miss anything? I don't think I did. No? Ask if it likes tater tots. You can ask the Ouija board if it likes chips. You can ask if it likes chips. You can ask if it likes beards. All the things. What else do we need? Parabolic. We need firelight. Let's go ahead and go get those things while we're there. There is a forever candle there, so I'm not even going to grab that. I'm not even going to grab that because that's a waste of our time. That's a waste of our time. Okay, it's not doing Squiznut. Let's rock. What up, Proxy? Doing things around the house. Nice. How are you? I'm good. Doing swell. I am waiting for the fam to get home. They are on the way. They're working at it. All right, Ghosty. We're gonna put you were liking going up and down the stairs there, so let's do that. Hello. Yeah, we'll light the forever candle. Did you get home, brother? Did you get home from today from the meetup? I did. I did. Oh my. Footsie doodles. Didn't we have care cards? We do. We do. You thought that was the ghost? Brother, ew. Those disappeared really fast. Did they disappear Obake fast? Hey, where you going? Hey! Hey! Come back! Hey! No, no, I completely understand, Tater. No. Your wife, I know. I completely understand. Dude, I totally get it. Hello? Yeah, Tater's gonna have a little tater tot soon. Oh, you blew out the firelight. Hey, what a hero. Hello? It's not writing in the book. I didn't see orbs. That doesn't mean it's not orbs. You didn't see dots. Could be a Goryo. Maybe it's withholding freezing. Maybe it's being a jerkhole. I could treat it like insanity and just make it on. Or it could do it itself. And I just go to bed. Oh, it was a demon. I was really confused as to why my sanity was drained so fast. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. I was way too lax in paying attention and hanging out with chat. Whoops. Oh, it could be a Goryo. Whoopsie. My bad. Elias, thank you for the 5K. My bad. That was my bad. Whoops. It was a demon. So the evidence that you get with a demon, by the way, ultraviolet, ghost writing, and freezing. So it probably was the freezing. It probably was the freezing. Yeah. Yeah. It didn't interact with the book at all. It wasn't doing anything, actually. It was doing diddly squat, and it was saving up its energy for that moment. Anyway. Any Hoosiers. Hey, Addie. What do you think is the biggest map? Well, it's not a matter of opinion. It's a fact. You did no evidence 3 runs today. 8:15. Nice. Nice. Did you get them all right? Yeah, Sunny Meadows is the largest map. It's not like a which one do you think is the biggest? Like, well, no, we know which one is the largest map. We know which one is the biggest. Yeah, no question. We know. Tango's largest map? Could be. It could be. 2 campsite? Nah. How's the vacation? It was a lot of fun getting to see all the friends. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. How do you exit out of... I just tried to do hide and seek with the Ouija board and I couldn't exit. Well, it's because you tried to do hide and seek. Yeah. Once you were doing hide and... I mean... Wait, why did you try to... Well, you were doing hide and seek. Why'd you try to exit? Yeah, hide and seek, the point of that is to start a hunt. And text to speech. You mean the text menu? Like when you're asking questions, you were using the text menu? That I don't know. That I don't know. Do prison? Nah. Couldn't control the character. That I don't know. That I don't know. All right, let's go to Tangle Street. Sounds like a bug. It does. I don't really.
Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly.
You just wait until the board breaks. There you go.
Got the intel.
So I'm guessing you started it, the countdown was happening, and then you were trying to move and you just couldn't go anywhere.
Stay left in a hurry.
That makes sense. Yeah. I never used the text feature, so I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Think of the follow octo. Livy. Escape. Photo. Incense. Rock. All right. We should be a little more on edge and prepared this time. Hey, Raptor. And it spawn on top of you. Yeah. Gotta be careful, SpongeBob. Careful, SpongeBob. Music box. What's that sound? Okay. Why did I just do that? Goo! Always do hide and seek from hiding place. I don't usually. I just do from wherever. But again, I mean, I hide and seek and then I just dip. I just run. How's Doggo? She's good. She's doing fine. Chilling upstairs. She's hanging out. Taking her meds. But she's taking her meds. She's been doing fine. Favorite cursed? Music box. Yep. There you go. Music box is my absolute favorite. By far. We're going to go with living room for now, just because. Welcome back, DJ. Isn't it buggy? What's buggy about it? We've got aroma. It's a really creepy thing to ask me to do a stream with kids, Body. Tarot cards are your favorite? I only enjoy the tarot cards when I'm playing with friends. That's the only time I enjoy the tarot cards. Thank you for the follows. Welcome in. Ghosty, what door did you touch? Is it this one? Was it this one? Tips for new players. Always know where to hide, friend. Always know where to hide. Always, always, always. What up, Flame? Welcome back. What door was that? Is it one of these? Goo! I don't know which door that was, but it was one of them. EMF fiber. Done the new challenge. New challenge? What new challenge? The challenge that came out last week? Alright. No ultras. Roger that. Let's see if our breath is still cold here. Yeah, it's still 2 degrees here. No phalanges. No phalanges. 4 degrees. Okay, yeah, it's still here. It's just roaming around. Walking around. It's fine. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you?
From behind.
Well, don't do that. 5, spirit box. Spirit or twins. Roger that. The one in Camp Woodland. I mean, whenever I usually do the weekly on Mondays, and then I usually post it on Tuesdays, or sometime close to that. Usually. Photo, escape, incense. Well, we can try. We can surely try. Photo, escape, and incense. We got this. Let's rock. Lots of Roaming could be twins in different places. Well, the twins is technically one ghost. Yeah, twins is not two ghosts. Twins is one. There. Get a picture of you. Get a picture of you. We get a picture of you. Where was the bone? Basement? Bone! Oh, I need to get the plushie thing out of here. Forgot about that. Confuses a lot of new players. I know it's confusing, but I mean, it's the idea of it being like two ghosts. You know? Twins is one. Yeah. Technically, it's one ghost. Technically, it's one. You can still have activity happening over here and then have activity happening all the way over there. Yeah. I'm thinking this might be twins. Turn it off. Thank you, Mayor. All right, Ghosty, you want to show up for a photo? Eh? Want to show up for a photo? I mean, I could use the music box to do the photo. Do I have a smudge on me by chance? No? Let's go get one. Oh, wait, I do have one on me. Shit. Fuck it. Let's do it now. Thank you for the photo. Use this. So between our ghosties here, you have spirit and twins. One's gonna be normal speed and one is not. That's basically the easiest way to do this. And we are going to get a photo. That is our goal. I don't. No. I don't want a photo like that. Ew. Ugh. Gross. Gross. My kids have gaming setup. They have an Xbox. Jesus Christ. Found it. I wasn't expecting it to be over there. That really caught me off guard. Damn kids. Damn kids. Hi, party child. I'm good. How are you? Thank you for the 5 months, friend. Oh my god. Thank you for the follows. Welcome. Showing up out of nowhere, crying, breaking stuff. Yeah, that's me. That's just me. That's all that is. That's all that is. Oh, look at that in there. I don't know where I put the camera down, so we'll grab that. How many more photos do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure. Sure. It's so angry. Where was our ghosty? Ghost who I hate the most? The Ure. Because they're stinky. Joe! Thank you for the 10 months. Twins? No. Spirit. No. What's up, Mob? Welcome in. Spirit. Turn that off. What up, Mob? How are you? 3, 2, 4. All 3 stars. Got our objectives. Ghost was normal speed. Spirit, done. Got the bone. Let's rock. Yeah, taking my light. Base Ghost, yeah. Yeah, skibbity. Yeah. Yeah, skibbity.
Welcome back.
Boom.
I've prepared some jobs for you.
EMF reader. Let's rock. Have I ever thought about modding the game? No. No, as an official creator for the game, that would be a really big mistake. As somebody that's not an official creator for the game, that's a really big mistake. That would really think about not doing. Yeah, because if they catch you doing it, then you're going to get banned from the game forever. Forever! So I would recommend not doing it. It's not worth it. Not for the modding stuff that's there. It's not worth it. Not worth. All right. We have ads coming, by the way, guys. Doing what? Nothing. Nothing. Ads are coming. So we're going to let them run. We are going to let them run. Let's see. Cold? No, warm. No, it's warm. Let's see. Uri's wait, what? Uri's touch doors, but don't leave fingerprints. Well, yeah, because they don't have ultraviolet evidence. So, yeah. Sissy. Am I streaming tomorrow? I am. I am. Sissy, thank you for the subs. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you. That's why they're annoying. Because they don't leave ultraviolet evidence? I mean, that would be saying that all of these ghosts are annoying because none of these ghosts leave ultraviolet evidence. I'm trying to understand what the thought process is here. trying to follow, and it's difficult to understand what's happening. They're annoying because of the door touching me. They're annoying because that's the only way to tell them apart. Yeah. That's what makes them annoying. The only way to tell that it's a Yurei is the door slam. That's it. That's it. Didn't get ads. Hey, there you go. Yeah, headphone. It's going to happen sometimes, man. Yeah. All right, let me check where they are again. I keep my eyes on them. Yeah. Every ghost can touch a door. Only obviously certain ones are going to leave fingerprints. Only these ones will leave fingerprints. These ones will not. Yeah. Just depends. Yeah. There you go. Word. Trying to keep my eyes peeled on the time. But yeah, tomorrow we have the weekly. Tomorrow will be a normal stream. It'll be back to, it should be back to normal. Should be back to normal. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Sissy. Aw. Sissy, thank you for gifting to Bubbles. Thank you so much. Mods are cool. They are pretty damn cool, Jax. I would have to agree. I would have to agree. Did you get time to watch the Dipple? I have not. I want to. If I can this week or sometime soon, I really want to. Yeah. What type of headset am I using? Steel Series. Yeah. Steel Series. This headset is the Arctis 7. Yeah. Watch them getting a tattoo. Hey, that's cool. What kind of tattoo you got? There we go. We back. You have it? Yeah, it's really comfortable. I like it a lot. I've liked it for quite a long time. Cherry blossom branch. Up the arm? Oh, that's cool. That's pretty rad. If you could be any ghost type, what would you be? A shade. So I could do nothing. All right. Let's do another one. What up, Cave? You changed your username. Nice. Nice. Octo! Thank you for the prime, dude. Oh, yeah, I tweeted about that earlier. Yeah, the Twitch mobile app redesign clearly was not tested. What did I say? I forget what I said. I said, hold. I said, I'm very curious who tested the new Twitch mobile app, mobile layout before it launched and said, they're going to love this. It's not good. Nobody likes it. 0 people like it. Like, who over in the like research and development department of like the mobile app put it together, saw it, had it in their hands and said, God, man, this is fucking awesome. Like, wow, we're so good. God, we did it. We made the TikTok of all that is Twitch app. It is awful. It is so bad. They tried to turn Twitch into a TikTok app and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't fly. You're not going to sit here like this for 4 hours. You're not going to sit here for 4 hours watching it and go on to the next one. Scroll. The second you open the app, you're immediately in a stream. Mobile audio is running and you're immediately in. On TikTok, it's okay because you know why? Because you have content that is tailored and ready for you and bits and pieces that are like so many seconds long and you go to the next one. On a stream, it's like a dedication. You have to give your time to. You have to invest. You have to choose to be in it. But like they just fucking shove it down your throat. It's immediately just here, eat that, fucking eat it. I don't know who approved it. It's bad. It's not good, man. It ain't good. The new update makes me not want to go to mobile app ever. I do not use the mobile app. Nope. Nope. I only look at Twitch on PC now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sitting around the table was like, yeah, this is it. We did it. We did it, guys. They're never going to use the mobile app again. We are the champion. Okay. My opinion on it, like why I think it doesn't work. Like one of the reasons why I think it doesn't work, one of the gripes that I have with trying to make this work is because, and maybe I can turn this down a skosh. Maybe I can turn it down a skosh. But like when you're trying to do this, like, maybe it's not bright enough. But like it's horizontal content that is trying to be optimized on a vertical landscape. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Design-wise, graphically, it hurts my brain. It hurts. It hurts me because of all of this space that is just left to die. It hurts me. It hurts my soul. It is like, because you know what this is? Do you know what this is like? Because this literally has nothing to do with who's streaming, because this is just your stream that is being delivered to the app like this. You did nothing except stream. Oh, hi, Math. How are you? So he did nothing except stream, right? But it's like taking a clip for TikTok, keeping it as landscape and uploading it as landscape. What is going to do better? Is it going to do better as a vertical, or is it going to do better in landscape? Portrait or landscape? Oh, it's going to work better in portrait because you're watching it in fucking portrait? Crazy talk. I can't believe it. My phone is like this. I'm not watching it like this. Did boomers create this app? Of course they did. And not to mention, if you're like this and you're like, oh, maybe I do want to see it like this. No, no, no. The only thing that's close to that is when you go to clips and somebody has to go in and purposefully make their clip a vertical clip. They have to do it. You have to go in and make your clip vertical, or else it is like this. And it is still horizontal. And you're just viewing all of Twitch like this, where they're forcing it here with no information here until you click in like this, where you click in and now, which also this fucking is annoying as hell too. This Twitch drop thing. I don't know if there's a way to turn this off universally, but I would love to be able to do that. I don't give a shit about this. Get it off my screen. I don't care. And it's like, okay, now I'm back to where I want to be, where I can see the stream and I can see all of the information. This is what I want, you know, because I clicked on the stream. But if I'm not here and I go back to here, I have this. To be fair, Flash, if you have a Z fold like me, it is better. So how many people have a Z fold? How many people have a Z fold phone? Type a 1 in chat if you just so happen to have a Z fold. Not everybody at once. Please stop spamming the chat. Please calm down, guys. Please stop. At least 3 of you are full of shit. Right. But when you're creating product and you're creating something, you're obviously trying to deliver for the masses. So you're trying to create something that is for the majority going to be liked. You're not going to please everybody. That's just inevitable. So we need a product that is going to be good for most. And then we will slowly try to figure out how to make it work better for others. Not, hey, it just is shit for everybody. Ah, well. Oops. It's basically like the BP oil. I'm sorry. We're sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Everyone kept asking for Twitch to update their app. Man, we would love to see an update. And then they were like, here you go. And we're like, oh God, what happened? What happened? This is so bad. Why? Who did this? Who hurt you? Why are things this way? I hate it so much. Oh, it's the upgrade meme. It is the upgrade meme. They somehow made, yeah, they absolutely did. 100%. 100%. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Careful what you wish for. I know. And then they'll find it'll be worse. It'll be worse. They pretty much designed it like YouTube and TikTok had a baby. Again, trying to create it. So if you guys saw not too long ago, the vertical, the vertical platform, well, the Atom, they created the multi-streaming plugin, right? And it's awesome. But one of the things inside of the vertical or the multi-streaming plugin is the ability to stream to Twitch vertically, which is interesting, which is making you wonder what that means for the future. So that makes me wonder. That makes me curious. Are they doing this shit because the intention is that you will have vertical here? So what that means that anybody that is horizontal on the app is going to be pushed off. Everything will be like TikTok. That would be ass. That would be ass. Yeah. It's not what the app is, man. It's not the way to go. It's not the way to do it. It's like you almost want to have a separate app. You almost want to have like a separate Twitch Clips app or cat. I don't know. Tyler. Stream on TikTok with the compatibility mode. Do you stream on compatible? I do. Yes, I do. Yeah, the vertical and horizontal, I do at the same time. Yeah, I try to. Yeah, thank you, friend. Thank you so much. I watch on my TV. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the best way. I don't know what the best route is. I mean, I'm sure that there's a reason that they're doing the things that they are. I sure hope that they would do some sort of sample and like show it to people and say, what do you guys think? Like they showed this to somebody and somebody said, show me those people. I want to see the people that gave it this guy. That's what I want to see. The people that saw this and said, man, we're doing it. That's the part I don't understand. Right. Or was this pushed out so fast that they didn't have a sample and they said, fuck, just push it, man. F it. Just get it out there. What's up, Jumbo? Those people don't use the app. That does happen from time to time, but I would only hope. I mean, Twitch is definitely a different kind of universe where you've got a lot of people that are within said universe, right? Thank you for the follows. They showed it to TikTok. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of people that the reason this is such a big talking point right now is because of how many people use the mobile app to watch streams. It's like half. That's a problem. If somebody goes to the app and they go to search and they're like, this is shit. Bye. Goodbye. Half is surprising. It's a lot. Off topic. What do you think about Demonologist? A game that started off strong, had a good possibility to be one that could go up against Phasmo, and they let it drop and it fell off really, really hard. There's no recovering for that game. It's literally unrecoverable. Yeah. You watch it on an iPad? There you go. I do sometimes. Yeah, I watch it on an iPad sometimes. Yeah. It just depends. Sometimes if I'm hanging out on the couch, like with the wife, and we're just chilling, and I'm scrolling, then I'll watch on mobile. And I guess to be fair, to a certain point, at least, thank God they didn't change this, where like when you're watching a stream, this hasn't been changed. Thank God that hasn't been changed. This is normal. This is fine. This stays. So when I'm watching someone stream, that's normal. Chat's there, stream's there. That's all normal. Thank goodness. So once I get to the stream, it's fine. But getting through that, like immediately opening the app, like when I go to Twitch, the second I open Twitch, boom, I'm in a stream. It's like, I don't want that. I don't want that. When I go to twitch.com, when I go to twitch.tv on desktop, are you thrown into a stream the second you go to twitch.tv? No, you're not. No. Ever played Forewarned? I have. It's a really great game. It's really, really good. And you can't even sort streamers from higher to lower. Yeah. Yes, you are. No, the front page doesn't count as being thrown into a stream. Not in my opinion. This one, you are literally thrown directly in. Like, that's it. I'm in the stream. Am I counted as a viewer in their stream right now? Technically, I think you might be counted as a viewer inside of the... It's loud in my face as soon as I go to Twitch. There might be a way to turn that off. Because that doesn't happen to me. That doesn't happen to me, Josh. That never happens to me. Is Death Watchers a good game? Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Thank you for the follows. Welcome in. Mine are always muted. Mine are always muted. The volume is never on mine. You love the new Twitch app update? You love the new mobile update? I hate it. I hate it. I think it looks awful. I think that this landscape that they're trying to do with like the landscape with all of this huge, massive open area being completely wasted is gross looking. I think it's gross looking. Looks like Twitch on PC to me. Oh man, I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. It's fumbly. It's weird. It's Twitch trying to make it look like TikTok, and it doesn't work when you have a stream that goes for 3 to 4 hours compared to a clip that goes for seconds and you scroll. Because like the intention here is that you can scroll. But is somebody going to be doing this? Is somebody going to be doing this? Scrolling? Is this using an algorithm to let me, like, what algorithm is being used to serve me streams right now? You know? Wait, they give it the Prime. Appreciate you. What algorithm is being used? Is it the same one that's used on desktop to serve me streams? Who wants to scroll through streams like that anyways? I definitely do not. Am I counted as a viewer every time I go like this and I go like that? Am I now a viewer in their stream? I want to watch the ones on. No, I love checking out new streams. That's exactly how TikTok works. Correct. But when you're watching TikTok, you're watching 15 seconds to a minute long clip and then you move on and you just keep moving and you keep scrolling. Twitch, it's a 3 to 4 hour stream, possible dedication. It's a completely different vibe. It's a completely different feel. I get tons of lives on TikTok. Oh, on the For You page. Oh yeah, I scroll past a lot of those. Yeah, I scroll past a lot of those. I get served a lot of those. I scroll past many. I know exactly what you mean though. Yeah, I scroll past a lot of those. There's some weird ones. No, there are. But if you can also, I mean, especially like TikTok, you can hold down and say not interested. Definitely like use that. Use the like the not interested thing because it's extremely helpful. Yeah, it's extremely helpful. How many hours do I have in Phas? All of them. Yeah. If you take all the hours, I have all of them. They're all mine. Yeah. Oh shit. I got to check to see where my wife is. Hold, please. Hold. I'm going to get in trouble. No, I'm okay. I scroll past 99% of them. No, sometimes I'll click in. It just really depends. Like when it comes to lives, like on TikTok side of things, I'm intentionally looking for a live. I'm not going into the live, but it's a different feel. I'm sure everybody's different. I'm not intentionally going to the live button and scrolling through lives. The only time I'm ever doing that is if I'm looking for inspiration. That's the only time I'm ever doing that. Other than that, I'm looking for a very specific game to meet people and say hi. That's it. I've come up on the For You page a few times. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, with Twitch, I don't know. I don't like the look. The fact is that it's using a horizontal. It's using all horizontal video on a vertical landscape because Twitch is inevitably a horizontal video platform until they decide to do vertical video. So I don't know if that's what this is all about or not. But as of right now, the only way that this is being really taken advantage of, in my opinion, is whenever somebody goes into the clips and they actually do the vertical clip, which, I mean, the amount of people that do that, it's slim. I do it sometimes. Twitch went early wild. Well, like the amount of people that actually do the vertical, because like Twitch gives you the ability to press like a button almost. It's not that hard really to make your clip vertical on Twitch now. Like this one was technically done, but like the amount of people, look how much I have to scroll to find somebody that actually did that. I just have to keep trucking. I just have to keep fucking trucking. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I've never been a big fan of like on TikTok whenever people are posting horizontal video. I don't like it. Yeah. Stream gonna end. Yeah, we're basically winding down. Because the stream wasn't even supposed to happen today, but I came home a little bit early and then my family was coming home today a little bit early too. So my time was kind of dictated by when they were coming home because they had a longer drive. So I'm gonna make sure they get fed. My next stream's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Yeah. Saved up to get a new computer. Nice. How are you, Mr. Cheebs? Cheebs. Mr. Cheeba. But yeah. Yeah, mini bitch ran over. That's about it. Yeah. Once I'm in somebody's stream, it's perfectly fine because it's optimized. I have the stream up top, chats down here. We're good. We're Gucci. Outside of that, a shit ton of wasted space. Audible, I know squat about computers, man. I know a little bit, like bits and pieces. Thank you, SMH. Yeah. But yeah. We'll be doing that. Tubes, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out, man. But we'll be live tomorrow. Gonna order some foods for the fam. They specifically wanted chicken tenders from Cracker Barrel. So with her driving almost 7 hours, I had no choice. I have to fulfill these dreams. How are things going? They're good. How are you? Things are going swell. See, Addie, solid choice. What dipping sauces? My middle child is a barbecue aficionado. He loves barbecue. Izzy will just dip everything in ketchup, and Landon, he's kind of a toss-up. He kind of likes everything. Ever collab with Insum? I have before. Probably will in the future at some point. It's difficult for me and him because I work during the day and then I don't get home till late. We've talked about that before. I don't get home until super late, so it's really difficult. Honey mustard's underrated. Honey mustard's my wife's favorite. Chicken tendies are definitely dreams that need to be fulfilled. Yeah, like I just went to twitch.tv, made the carousel up here muted. I don't know if it's like a once you mute it thing, it's always muted thing, but it's never unmuted unless I unmute it. Yep. Always muted for me. Always. Wonder that too? I don't know. I'll have to mess around. Yeah, mine always is too. I think it should be. I think it's kind of obnoxious if it's not. I bet if I do an incognito window, it'll be unmuted. How much you want to bet? If I go to twitch.tv right now in an incognito window, or else it's going to cut out, by the way. For any of you that are very curious about what he's doing. Anyway, let's find out where we're going. I think he's in the Facebook streamer is going to cut out. I think so too. Yeah. I don't want to try to do his accent because I feel like that'd be offensive because I would do it horribly. So we're just going to move on with our day and move past it. I think that doesn't make sense to call you that because if I say that, nobody in the stream is going to see that in your name. So if I say that, nobody's going to have any idea that I'm talking to you. Do you know what I mean? Pick it up when I'm putting it down. You smell what the rock's cooking? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Canadian Jesus. Yeah, I can do that. It's right there in your name. I see it. Let's go over here. Let's go over there. Hey, Chris. Thought you were back until tomorrow. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to be, but since I got back a little bit early and I was waiting for the fam to get home, they were driving home today as well. Figured I'd go live for a little bit. So here we are. That's okay. We're about to raid out. So we're going to go raid into a friend that I just saw IRL yesterday. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I take that back. We're going to have to do that another time. I do apologize. No. I never get to raid this man. I'm so sorry. I changed my mind. Who? I got you. If you are not sub, that is for you. If you are sub, this is for you. Creepy tier 3s, this is for you. We. No. I never get to raid kill. We're going to go see hi. We're going to go say hi to Kill. I never get to raid Kill. I love this man. Kill is a gem. He is a scholar. He is currently playing Cult of the Lamb. If you want to join his cult, this is your time. I'm going to try to join. If I get it, that's going to be hilarious because he's... Please let me get it. That'd be so good. Let me get it before the raid. I'm going to try. Please let it be me. If I get it, it's going to be really funny. Because if I get it, there's like 11 people in there trying to get it right now. But if I get it, I'm going to raid immediately. The likeliness of it being me is unlikely. Come on. For the memes. For the memes, let it be me. Come on. Kill, get on with it. We're waiting. Hold. He's taking too long. He's taking too long. And the goddamn raffle. All right, it's fine. It's gonna raid. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let's go say hi to Kill. You'll get your chance to probably enter the raffle. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.